Welcome to Sports Bios, the podcast where we delve into the fascinating lives of athletic icons, and I'm your host, Howard Closewell. Today, we're going to embark on a captivating journey through the complex biography of Charles "Sonny" Liston, a man whose formidable presence in the boxing ring was matched only by the tumultuous events of his life outside of it. As we navigate this story, you'll discover that Sonny Liston's life is a testament to the human spirit's capacity for resilience, adaptation, and transformation, a tale of unyielding determination and devastating hardships, of unbridled passion and unrelenting adversity. Born on May 8, 1932, in Sand Slough, Arkansas, Sonny Liston entered the world in a region where the legacy of slavery and segregation still lingered, casting long shadows over the lives of African Americans. The air was thick with the weight of history, and the land itself seemed to bear the scars of generations past. His early life was marked by the harsh realities of rural poverty, with his family struggling to eke out a living from the unforgiving land. The youngest of 12 children, Sonny grew up in a small, cramped shack with no electricity or running water, an environment that would have broken lesser spirits. His father, Tobe Liston, was a stern and often brutal man who ruled the household with an iron fist, meting out punishments that bordered on the savage. The sound of his father's belt cracking against the wall still echoed in Sonny's mind, a haunting reminder of the terror he endured. This volatile home environment would later influence Sonny's own temper and behavior, as he struggled to reconcile the contradictions between his natural aggression and the need for self-control. The historical context of Sonny Liston's early years is equally significant, for it was an era marked by racial tension and social upheaval. The Great Migration, which saw millions of African Americans leave the rural South for urban centers in the North, was in full swing, and the Liston family would eventually join this exodus, relocating to St. Louis, Missouri, when Sonny was just a boy. This move would expose him to new experiences, both positive and negative, shaping his worldview and informing his future decisions. As we explore the early influences that shaped Sonny Liston's character, it becomes apparent that his life was marked by a series of pivotal encounters and events. His introduction to boxing, for example, came through a local youth center in St. Louis, where he discovered a natural aptitude for the sport. The smell of sweat and leather, the sound of punches landing on the heavy bag, and the feeling of wearing worn gloves all combined to create an intoxicating experience that would captivate him for the rest of his life. This would prove to be a turning point in his life, as boxing offered him a sense of purpose and direction, allowing him to channel his emotions and energies into something productive. The people who surrounded Sonny during these formative years also played a significant role in shaping his personality and outlook. His mother, Helen Liston, was a constant source of comfort and support, providing a nurturing presence that helped to balance the harsh realities of his father's discipline. Her gentle voice, her warm smile, and her unwavering dedication to her children all served as a beacon of hope in an often dark and unforgiving world. Meanwhile, his siblings, particularly his older brothers, would serve as role models and mentors, teaching him valuable lessons about resilience and perseverance. The young Sonny Liston was a complex and often contradictory figure, a bundle of raw emotions, unbridled energy, and untested potential, waiting to be shaped by the trials and tribulations that lay ahead. And it is here, in these early years, that we find the seeds of the man he would become, a boxer of unyielding ferocity, a personality of unapologetic intensity, and a human being of profound complexity and depth. As Sonny Liston's boxing career began to take shape, like a behemoth emerging from the shadows, he found himself under the guidance of John Vitale, a local St. Louis boxing promoter, who would play a significant role in shaping his early years as a fighter. The streets of St. Louis, with their worn pavement and faded dreams, seemed to whisper tales of hardship and resilience, echoing the struggles that Liston had faced in his own life. It was during this period that Liston's formidable punching power and intimidating presence in the ring started to garner attention from the boxing community, like a gathering storm that threatened to upend the status quo. Liston's amateur career was marked by an impressive record of 15 wins and 1 loss, with many of his victories coming by way of knockout. The sweat-drenched gyms, The smell of worn leather and the sound of pounding fists on heavy bags all served as a crucible, forging Liston into a force to be reckoned with in the heavyweight division. His professional debut took place on September 2, 1953, against Don Smith, a bout he won by technical knockout in the first round. This early success set the tone for his rise through the ranks, as he racked up an impressive string of victories, including wins over notable fighters like John Holman and Marty Marshall. The latter fight, which took place on April 15, 1955, was particularly significant, as it marked Liston's first major test against a top-tier opponent. The air was thick with tension as the two fighters faced off, their eyes locked in a fierce stare-down that seemed to reverberate through the very foundations of the arena. Despite being knocked down in the fifth round, Liston managed to recover and secure a unanimous decision victory, cementing his reputation as a force to be reckoned with in the heavyweight division. This triumph was not merely a testament to Liston's physical prowess, but also a reflection of his unyielding mental toughness, forged in the fires of adversity and hardship. The late 1950s saw Liston's career gain significant momentum as he began to face increasingly tough opposition. His fight against Floyd Patterson on September 25, 1962, was a defining moment in his career, as he dethroned the reigning champion to become the new heavyweight title holder. The bout, which lasted just 2 rounds, was marked by Liston's brutal efficiency, his fists flying with precision and power, like a finely tuned machine designed to destroy. This victory solidified his reputation as one of the most feared fighters in the sport, a man whose very presence seemed to command respect and inspire awe. Liston's reign as champion was marked by several successful title defenses, including victories over Patterson in a rematch and against Roy Harris. However, it was his fight against Cassius Clay, later known as Muhammad Ali, on February 25, 1964, that would prove to be one of the most significant events of his career. Despite being heavily favored to win, Liston was surprisingly outmaneuvered by the younger and more agile Clay, who employed his signature float like a butterfly, sting like a bee style to great effect. The bout ended in a technical knockout victory for Clay, marking the beginning of the end of Liston's reign as champion. As Liston navigated the complexities of his career, he found himself surrounded by a cast of characters who would shape his experiences and influence his decisions. His relationship with his trainer, Johnny Taco, was particularly significant, as Taco played a crucial role in helping Liston develop his skills and prepare for big fights. The bond between them was forged in the fire of shared struggle and mutual respect, a bond that would endure even in the face of adversity. Liston's friendships with other fighters, including Eddie Macon and Billy Daniels, also provided valuable support and camaraderie during the ups and downs of his career. The years that followed Liston's loss to Clay were marked by a series of challenges and setbacks, both in and out of the ring. Despite his best efforts to regain the championship, Liston found himself facing increasingly stiff competition, including a young and formidable Joe Frazier. As he struggled to come to terms with his declining fortunes, Liston became embroiled in a world of controversy and scandal, with rumors of underworld connections and illicit activities threatening to tarnish his reputation. Through it all, Liston remained a figure of fascination and intrigue, a complex and often contradictory personality who continued to captivate the imagination of the public. As he once said, "I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is," a statement that encapsulated the essence of his rugged, unapologetic, and deeply human persona. This was a man who wore his heart on his sleeve, whose emotions were as raw and exposed as an open wound. Despite the many challenges he faced, Liston remained committed to his craft, driven by a fierce determination to succeed and a refusal to back down from adversity. As his career continued to unfold, it became clear that Sonny Liston's legacy would be one of unyielding ferocity, unwavering dedication, and an unshakable commitment to the sport he loved. He was a warrior, a fighter to the very core of his being, whose life was defined by the rhythms of the ring and the thrill of competition. And though his story would ultimately be marked by tragedy and loss, Liston's spirit remained unbroken, a testament to the enduring power of the human will. Like a Shakespearean hero, Liston's downfall was both captivating and heartbreaking, a testament to the unforgiving nature of professional sports. As he struggled to regain his footing in the boxing world, Liston found himself facing a series of formidable challenges that would have broken a lesser man. The once feared fighter, who had terrorized opponents with his crushing blows and intimidating presence, was now a shadow of his former self. His best efforts to recapture the championship were for naught, as he suffered a string of disappointing losses that left him reeling. It was during this period that Liston's life became increasingly entangled in controversy and scandal. The feud with Muhammad Ali, which had begun as a war of words, eventually escalated into a series of heated confrontations that captivated the nation. Their rivalry was more than just a clash of egos. It represented a cultural divide, with Liston embodying the establishment and Ali symbolizing the revolutionary spirit of the 1960s. As Liston navigated this treacherous landscape, he struggled to come to terms with his own decline. The man who had once been the epitome of confidence and self-assurance was now racked with self-doubt and insecurity. His introspective moments, though rare, offered a glimpse into the turmoil that churned beneath his tough exterior. "I wasn't no angel," he confessed, in a moment of uncharacteristic vulnerability. "But the first always tried to do what I thought was right." These words, spoken with a hint of regret and longing, humanized Liston in a way that few had seen before. In the years leading up to his untimely death, Liston's health began to deteriorate at an alarming rate. The punishing blows he had absorbed throughout his career had taken their toll, leaving him with a debilitating combination of heart disease and arthritis. His once formidable physique was now weakened, his movements slow and labored. And then, on December 30th, 1970, the unthinkable happened. Liston's lifeless body was discovered in his Las Vegas home. The official cause of death listed as a cocaine overdose. The news sent shockwaves through the sports world, with many of those who knew Liston expressing skepticism about the verdict. Rumors of foul play and murder swirled, adding to the enigma that surrounded Liston's life. He was a trailblazer, a fighter who brought a unique combination of power, skill, and charisma to the ring. His influence can be seen in generations of fighters who followed in his footsteps, from George Foreman to Mike Tyson. And yet, despite his impressive achievements, Liston's story is also one of tragedy and loss. A life marked by controversy, scandal, and ultimately, premature death. It serves as a poignant reminder that even the most formidable among us are not immune to the frailties of human nature. As the first sit here pondering the complexities of Sonny Liston's life, I am reminded of the words of the great poet, Robert Frost. "The road not taken is the one that haunts us." For Liston, the roads not taken were many, each one representing a choice or opportunity that might have altered the course of his destiny. But it is, in the end, the road he did take, with all its twists and turns, that has left an indelible mark on our collective consciousness. In conclusion, Sonny Liston's story serves as a powerful reminder of the human condition, with all its attendant frailties and contradictions. It is a testament to the enduring power of resilience and determination, even in the face of overwhelming adversity. That's all for today's Sports Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Howard Closewell reminding you to keep shooting for your goals.